categorizing meeting notes, finding files, making a schedule,
and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
The best results from Zepbound, the best price from Future Health.
Future Health weight loss.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Pitbull, revealing the reason he decided to release Spanish-language music.
I go to all these Spanish award shows, and a lot of them, they don't invite us, or we don't get nominated or nothing like that, and that doesn't really bother me. But then I sit back and I look at numbers, and I figure out, you could pretty much put all the Latin guys together, and I done sold more records than them. I asked one of the cats, hey, how come, you come out here, we show love to the award show, whatever y'all need, so it's a problem. He said, no, your album's got to be 51% Spanish. No problem. I'm going to give you 150% Spanish. That's why we did it, to tackle both markets and show the versatility as far as the whole Pitbull movement.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Pitbull and all your favorite artists.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good. We are Fox Sports. Here's what you need to know on Fox Sports 940 Miami.
Joining other back-to-back South Florida sports teams in 1972-73 Dolphins and the 2012-13 Miami Heat, the Panthers continue celebrating, winning 2 straight Stanley Cup championships. And even though the parade is Sunday on Fort Lauderdale Beach, Sam Reinhart will have a celebratory shift at Raising Cane's in Tamarack tomorrow morning. The Marlins close their 4-game series with the Phillies at Lone Depot Park tonight, hoping for a split. Edward Cabrera set to take the mound for the Fish, with the team calling up pitcher Robinson Pena from Jacksonville. Coverage here on Fox Sports 940 Miami begins at 6. And our Miami CF tangling with FC Porto this afternoon in Atlanta in their second group stage match of the FIFA Club World Cup. Meantime, Real Madrid confirming superstar Kylian Mbappe has an acute case of gastroenteritis and has been undergoing tests and treatments in a South Florida hospital. He missed yesterday's 1-1 draw at Hard Rock Stadium against El Hilal. And the NBA Finals continue tonight in Indianapolis, with the Pacers entering Game 6 against Oklahoma, leading the best of 7, 3-2. If the Thunder pull off the road win, it'll be the organization's first title since 1979 when they were based in Seattle. I'm Eric Rodriguez, Fox Sports 940 Miami.
Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports 940 Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up, and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Ahmed. Welcome. We're live from Lone Depot Park in Miami on an 86-degree steamy summer night. Roof and the walls are slammed and shut. We'll play inside the comfort in the air condition. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. It's Fox Sports 940 Miami. Game 73 of 162. Tonight, Miami eyes a series split at home as their 4-game set comes to an end with the Philadelphia Phillies. We're pumped to bring you Game 4 of this 4-game set between the 44-30 Philadelphia Phillies and your 29-43 Miami Marlins. Yet another southpaw for the Phillies. We saw Jesus Luzardo on Tuesday, Ranger Suarez on Wednesday. Tonight, we'll see Christopher Sanchez, 28-year-old southpaw, who is set to make his 15th start of the season. Edward Cabrera, he will go opposite his fellow countryman. Cabby commands the hill for the 12th time this season for Clayton McCullough's Miami Marlins. First pitch slated tonight for 6:40 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Thursday night. With Jack McMullen and Kelly Sacco, I'm Steven Strom. Let's get you the lineup for the show. We thank you for your participation, and I also fear we are going the distance. We will first hear from Connor Norby. We will then hear from Scott Fransky, the radio voice of the Philadelphia Phillies, to get us set for the series finale. Well, of course, we got you on ahead of the count with Sanchez and Cabrera. Jack and Kelly will jump in for some back and forth. Our Expo question of today at Marlins Radio and Steve's guarantee to victory. Great to see last night in what was, a disappointing loss to the Phillies, 4-2. They fell at the hands of the Phils. But offensively, we saw Connor Norby hit his first home run in the month of June. He's starting to get it together, but let's hear how it sounded last night. It was the third home run that Ranger Suarez had given up all season long.
Did a walk his first time up. The 2-1 pitch. That one cracked out to center field. Marsh is back. Marsh at the track. He's looking up, and it's gone. Norby needed that. He gets the Marlins on the board.
That perfectly said. Norby needed that. That was our very own Jack McMullen, as always. And I got a chance to catch up with Connor. A couple of things I wanted to ask him. First of all, 3-game hit streak. I know it's a small sample size, but for Connor, he's just trying to turn that corner. We saw the second half, Norby, and we got really excited about what the full season Norby would look like in 25. He's also walked a little bit more, too. 3 walks in his last 2 games. But let's first start with Norby on what it says about his swing when he hits one out of the yard against a guy like Ranger Suarez.
I'm trying to just relax, to be honest. Out early with Stowie the other day, doing early work, watching a ton of video from just the differences from this year to last year so far. Frustrating for me so far for mostly the start that I've had. Had some good stretches, but overall just not happy with pitch selection, the swings I'm taking, just kind of everything. And biggest thing was just first I got to get comfortable with what I'm doing and feel comfortable in the box. And that was something I've been working hard at, just trying to slow everything down. And that's just been the emphasis. And when I do that, I do swing at better pitches because I'm in a better position to hit those pitches. And I'm also seeing it better because I'm not like rushing to get to a spot or whatever it may be. So, yeah, it's just trying to slow everything down and just be comfortable.
You said be patient. We've seen a couple of walks these last couple of games. What does that tell you about where you're at?
I mean, I want to walk. So all the people out there that are like, oh, he wants to swing. I do want to swing, but I love walks. I do love walks. And I'm working really hard on my plate discipline and trying to just shrink the zone. And if that means taking a couple more strikes, then, like, so be it. But teams right now, yeah, like they're getting ahead early and then they're expanding late, and I've been chasing, and we're trying to just bring them back in the zone. You scare them out of the zone to scare them back in the zone. That's what we talk about a lot, and that's the goal, is to eventually, like, they will start coming back in the strike zone, and then I'll be ready for it and I'll start hitting the way I want to. But yeah, if the walk's there, I got to take my walks.
Southpaw on Tuesday, Southpaw on Wednesday, Southpaw tonight. Christopher Sanchez, what are you seeing on film on how to get to him tonight?
Good fastball changeup, slider. Fastball plays up with his extension, bigger guy. Good fastball already, so it's going to play even more up, probably near 100. So you got to be ready. Get him up in the zone. Can't chase down because he got the changeup, and he likes to run the slider off. But yeah, good arm. Ranger's tough. He's death by 1,000 cuts. He's a good pitcher, and he's better. I saw him last year, and he's even better this year. And his numbers show that. But they're overall a great team, and we've hung with them, and we've been in every game, and we're swing away, and it's been the theme of the season. But playing some good baseball.
All right, so that was Connor Norby ahead of Game 4 here tonight. And, yeah, Christopher Sanchez, his best start of his career came against the Marlins last June, where he threw a 3-hit shutout, 0 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Connor Norby also just so articulate when you ask him about the key to someone like Sanchez, and he mentioned the changeup. Well, let me double down on that changeup. Sanchez has thrown 444 changeups this season without allowing a home run. He will go opposite Edward Cabrera here tonight, Game 4. Marlins looking to split here with the Phils. Coming up next, we'll get Scott Franzke on, one of the radio voices, or the radio voice of the Phillies. He'll help us break down what he saw from Adam Mazur and much more on the Marlins Radio Network.
ADT, 2-1 pitch. Turner swinging away, lifts one out to shallow right field. Stowers working in, Edwards pushing back. X on his way back. He makes the catch. Xavier Edwards with an over-the-shoulder catch. He reached out beyond his left shoulder, might have overran it a little bit, and he somehow plucked it with his back facing home plate.
I really just put my head down and ran. You know, we were in foot in at the time. I thought I just had to go and get it. I didn't think Wag was going to get there, and I wasn't sure where Stout was at. So just put my head down and ran, and luckily got to the spot.
1-1 pitch. Sanchez launches out to center field and deep. Rojas just looking up. Jesus Sanchez, a pinch hit bomb. There's your insurance. 6-3 Marlins in the bottom of the 7th.
To start this month.
His first start coming off because he came in a pinch hit situation and started the next day.
1-1. That a line shot up the middle and through for a base hit. One insurance run comes in to score, and that'll be all. Everybody up 90 feet. Agustin Ramirez stings a ball up the gut. 7-3 Marlins on an 111-mile-an-hour single up the middle from Agustin. Gets us ready for the payoff pitch. 3-2. That one a line shot into left center field. That will get in, and that will hop its way to the wall. Sanoja around second. He's headed to third base. Relay throw coming into third is late. It hit off Sanoja, and Javi has a go-ahead RBI triple.
Spot.
So runners at second and third now with the Marlins down by 1, and Banks seeing Kyle Stowers here. Philly infield drawn in. That a bouncing ball over to third. Bohm has got it. He can't come home. He throws to first. It's his only play. He gets Stowers, but a couple of soft ground balls over to third end up plating a run.
Miami. Reimagined, redesigned. Rediscover Miccosukee Casino and Resort. Online at miccosukee.com.
One of my favorite here in the business, Scott Franzke, is with us now on Marlins on Deck as we get you ready for Game 4 series finale, the final time until we see you guys in August. Let's start here. I asked your partner in the TV booth, Tom McCarthy, what is evergreen for him from a broadcast standpoint, what he did from the beginning in the minor leagues and what he does today. What is that for you, Scott Franzke?
I'd say watch the game. I mean, honestly, the way we prep has probably changed a little bit. Some of it subtle, some of it major. Certainly everything back in the day had to be handwritten kind of notes, and you'd have to scramble and figure things out for yourself. Now almost everything is some stat service is giving you more than you would ever need. So I think really what it comes down to is watching the game and, say what you see.
Curious from an opposition's broadcaster view, what you saw from Adam Mazur yesterday, 24-year-old right-hander, one of the Marlins' top 15 prospects. What did you see from Adam last night?
Interesting arm. I mean, there's some spray there, command-wise. I think he could probably refine that, but it's definitely something to work with. I would expect that we would see him again somewhere along the way. But, yeah, I mean, good live arm, and you're always looking for guys who can use multiple pitches to get outs and not somebody who's relying on just one or two. And from a starting standpoint, it looks like he's got, a decent idea of how to pitch. But, yeah, I'd say a refinement of his command would be big.
Where have you felt the most absence with no Bryce Harper in the lineup for you guys?
Honestly, it's kind of funny. When he went down, all of a sudden 5 through 9 started producing. And that was something that really hadn't happened. I mean, there were a lot of days in there, even when they were playing pretty well, where it was kind of a 3 or 4 man band, the 4 guys at the top of the order. And they definitely needed some help lengthening the lineup. And now all of a sudden JT's hitting, Max Kepler's, hitting, guys at the bottom, whether it's Stott or Brandon Marsh has been a big turnaround. So, I don't want to say they haven't missed him. I think presence-wise is a big deal for him to be in the lineup, not to mention just the sheer numbers that he can collect. But it came at a time when some other guys started to get hot.
Scott Franzke with us now on Marlins on Deck. The last time we saw Christopher Sanchez, the week before, he got an extension and then really rewarded that organization by throwing a complete game shutout. What is he doing this year in 2025?
He's kind of the same guy, honestly. It's still about command of his fastball and using that power changeup. He does have a slider that he will use, but I think it's more about fastball changeup. And we'll see him every now and then where you go out in the first inning and maybe he doesn't have a great feel for the changeup. But even last year, you look at his numbers, first time through the order, not stellar. Good, but not great. And then the second time through, he gets better. And the third time through, he gets better. And I think that has a lot to do with getting a feel for his changeup as the game wears on.
All right, so if the playoffs started today, 3-man rotation, no Aaron Nola, obviously on the IL. Who's the 3 that Rob Thompson will send out?
Well, Wheeler, there's a no-brainer. I do think Luzardo, and if it were right now, it's a tough one because if you're only talking about 3 starters, both Sanchez and Suarez have bullpen experience in their past, and I could see either one of them taking up that role and doing it pretty well. I don't think they would go that route with somebody like Luzardo, but I do think they could conceivably do that with both Ranger and or Christopher.
And last one for you, just some 10,000 view observations of the Miami Marlins through a handful of games against the Phillies.
Xavier Edwards can hit. Dude can flat out hit. That's for sure. They play hard. I think that's, obviously they're trying to sift through some talent and trying to see who maybe is a long-term piece. But I think what you like to see is that even a team with a record being what it is, they still play hard every night and they still give an effort. And, they don't look to me like a team that's beat. You know what I mean? Even if they're down early, they're still competitive in their at-bats. So, it's kind of the nature of the business sometimes. You got to grind away, and they're doing that.
Thanks for the time, Scott.
Yeah, you bet. My pleasure.
All right, coming up next, we will get you ahead of the count. Christopher Sanchez and Edward Cabrera, 6:40 first pitch right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
The 2-1 pitch. Turner swinging away, lifts one out to shallow right field. Stowers working in, Edwards pushing back. X on his way back. He makes the catch. Xavier Edwards with an over-the-shoulder catch. He reached out beyond his left shoulder, might have overran it a little bit, and he somehow plucked it with his back facing home plate.
I really just put my head down and ran. We were in foot in at the time. I thought I just had to go and get it. I didn't think Wag was going to get there, and I wasn't sure where Stat was at. So just put my head down and ran, and luckily got to the spot.
1-1 pitch. Sanchez launches out to center field and deep. Rojas just looking up. Jesus Sanchez, a pinch hit bomb. There's your insurance. 6-3 Marlins in the bottom of the 7th.
To start this month.
His first start coming off because he came in a pinch hit situation and started the next day.
1-1. That a line shot up the middle and through for a base hit. One insurance run comes in to score, and that'll be all. Everybody up 90 feet. Agustin Ramirez stings a ball up the gut. 7-3 Marlins on an 111-mile-an-hour single up the middle from Agustin. Gets us ready for the payoff pitch. 3-2. That one a line shot into left center field. That will get in, and that will hop its way to the wall. Sanoja around second. He's headed to third base. Relay throw coming into third is late. It hit off Sanoja, and Javi has a go-ahead RBI triple.
Spot.
So runners at second and third now with the Marlins down by 1, and Banks seeing Kyle Stowers here. Philly infield drawn in. That a bouncing ball over to third. Bohm has got it. He can't come home. He throws to first. It's his only play. He gets Stowers, but a couple of soft ground balls over to third end up plating a run.
Is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
This is Clayton McCullough here, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, thank you, Clayton. Ahmed and King back in the studio, Fox Sports 940 Miami, holding it down, pressing the 1s and 2s, keep me on the air. We always appreciate that. Welcome into Marlins on Deck. Live from Lone Depot Park on a Thursday. These 4-game sets are always weird. It was weird coming to the ballpark yesterday, not doing an afternoon game. It's weird coming tonight, finishing up the series. But here we are, Marlins with an opportunity to split with the Phils. Jack McMullen and Kelly Sacco, those two have your call at 6:40. They will also join me in a couple of minutes. Christopher Sanchez, 28-year-old southpaw, will make his 15th start of the season. He comes into tonight with a 5-2 record, a 3 ERA, 79 2/3 innings pitched, 88 punch-outs to 28 walks. He agreed to a 4-year, $22.5 million extension last June. And you know what he did a couple of days later? It was very mean to the Miami Marlins. He threw a complete game shutout. He gave up just 3 hits. He punched out 9 and walked a donut. Zero walks for Christopher Sanchez. He has continued this trend into 2025. Really good numbers. He didn't factor on Saturday against Toronto. He did go 7 innings, though, for the 3rd time this season. 5 hits, 2 runs, 98 pitches. We heard Scott Fransky talk about it. You've got to get to Christopher Sanchez early in the game. He has a 3.21 ERA in that first inning. It drops to 1.38, 1.38, and 1.38 as the innings go on. So the opportunity has to be at the top, hopefully, with the top of the order for the Miami Marlins. Christopher Sanchez in 4 games, 2 starts career-wise against Miami, 1-0, a 1.33 ERA, 20 1/3 innings pitch. That changeup, we mentioned it. He's thrown it 444 times this season with 0 home runs given up on that pitch. He will go opposite Edward Cabrera, 27-year-old right-hander who will make his 12th start of 2025. He comes into tonight with a 2-2 record, a 4.10 ERA, 11 starts. He's had a weird last 2 starts, and here's why. Only 7 innings combined, but there needs to be context. 4 innings on June 6th against the Rays. Now, the context behind that, it was 95 bleeping degrees. So Clayton McCullough had to manage his arms a little bit differently that weekend. And then last week in D.C. on Friday night, he left the game after colliding with Wags covering first base, went 3 innings, gave up 2 runs, 5 punch-outs, 2 walks, and 64 pitches. So 63 pitches against Tampa, 64 pitches last Friday in Washington, D.C. So one would assume maybe he's in for a little bit more of a lengthier outing here tonight against the Phils. He has had a sensational May, 2-0, a 2 ERA, 5 starts. This will be his first start of the season against the Phillies. Career-wise, he got some pretty good numbers, 6 starts, 2-2 record, 3.60 ERA in 30 innings pitched. So 2 guys from the Dominican Republic will face off tonight in Miami on this Thursday night, Christopher Sanchez and Edward Cabrera. Let's break. We'll get some storyline conversations with Kelly Sacco and Jack McMullen. That's all next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Do again, the runners go, and that one is a line shot past the dive of Abrams into left center field, a base hit. You got Stowers scoring from second. Hernandez breaks it down at third base, and it's an RBI single for Nick Fortes. Insurance for the Marlins. Their lead up to 5. It's 7-2 here in the top of the 5th. 2-2. James Wood laces one out to left field and deep. Hernandez is back. Hernandez reaching up. Heriberto Hernandez makes the catch. On the run, Hernandez jumps up and spears that ball right in front of the Marlins bullpen in left center field. Great play by Hernandez, and there's one away in the bottom of the 5th. See.
The 1-1. Liner in the air to center field. It'll get down for a hit. Sanchez scores from third base, and Liam Hicks continues his hot hitting. He walked in the first. He's got an RBI single here in the third to tie the score at 1.
Obviously through. Brad Lord may have a tougher job.
1-0 line drive pretty deep to right field. Call going back, looking up, and that ball is gone. Jesus Sanchez crushes a long home run just to the left of the Nationals bullpen. It's his 6th homer of the year, and Miami moves to 3-1 in the 7th over the Nationals.
With their traditional home whites, they go with this light blue City Connect top. 0-1 pitch. That one popped up right side of the infield, drifting into shallow right. Second baseman Garcia is calling for it, and Luis Garcia dropped the ball. Stowers comes in to score. Myers went to third base. Garcia nonchalantly was positioned to catch the final out of the inning, but he flat out dropped the baseball, and the Marlins add a run to their advantage. It's 4-1 here in the top of the 8th inning.
Limited welcome. AT&T Internet Recorder más una línea Unlimited Started SL. Requiere Xfinity Internet. Velocidades reales varían. Velocidades se reducen después del uso de 30 gigabits por línea. Los límites de datos y los ahorros reales varían.
All right, back here on a Thursday night, game 4, Marlins and the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez will go opposite Edward Cabrera. I look nice here on StreamYard. Jack and I guess we decided to match. We both have gray blazers on. I do have a black T-shirt, and I think, what do you have, Jack?
Charcoal, dark gray, so it looks the same.
Okay, well, we're with someone that is always on TV. She does a fantastic job, and I think she's the good, judge here. So, Kelly, early on, you see us on the screen.
Okay.
You heard us a little bit. Can you give us something? Give us a little feedback. How do we look? How do we sound?
Honestly, you guys were doing so well that Jack had to run over to the TV side because I had my IFB in. I'm watching. And I'm like, oh, the boys are doing so good. He's like, Kelly, we're going to be on in 2 minutes. So, oh no. Threw the IFB and came running across. I'm like, oh yeah, we have a job to do. I was just enjoying watching you guys. You guys crushed it. My favorite part, though, I have to say, was the open.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you guys,
open.
The
That's
cold open was
Sulcer
so much
is next
fun.
level.
You
Yeah,
did such a
Sulcer
good job.
did a great
and
job.
then let's be real too. Craig Minervini was in his element.
Oh, he loved that.
He's so good at what he does. Yeah, it was really fun to be around.
No, you guys were great. You crushed it.
Even in the pre-production meeting, whatever you guys call it, Craig wasn't paying attention to certain things. He's like, "Where's this? Where's that?"
Craig was texting. Rod was texting. It was so funny. We were just dialed in because it was our first TV meeting. But no,
yeah. So you know who needs to be dialed in today? Edward Cabrera. Good.
Nice
Good.
transition. Look at that transition.
I'm glad. I'm learning. I'm learning, Kelly. Okay, so Cabrera, I kind of hit on it. The last 2 starts, it's weird. 63 pitches, 64, 63 in Tampa because it was so darn hot. And then last week in D.C. had that ankle issue. Wags, or I think it was Abrams that actually clipped him. It was one of them. And Cabrera ended up leaving the game. You talked with Daniel Moskis today. What'd you gather from your conversation with Mosk?
Well, first and foremost, Clayton McCullough told us that Cabrera, good to go. So his ankle is fine. There's no limitations with Cabrera. So that's number one that we really enjoy. Number two, I was talking to Daniel Moskis just about Cabrera in general. And I said, hey, has he arrived? Is he here? Is he at the point where you're thinking every day and day in, day out, this is what we expect from you? He said he's very careful to use that word arrive because he always wants them to be in the mentality of working and growing. And he said he's been really, really proud of what Carrera's been able to do because they have him in the right mindset right now. He said the focus has been keeping things simple. But 0-2, you're out of the box. Anything before that, before 2 strikes, we want you in the box. And keeping that simple mentality has really worked for Edward Cabrera. So he's all in. He's bought into that. And first pitch strikes have grown significantly this year. So last year, low 50s. This year, he's at 63% first pitch strikes. So we're seeing Edward Cabrera continue to grow. We're seeing that mentality a lot stronger as well.
And Kelly, the first time in his career, he's at single digits with his walk rate. It was at 12% last year, 15% the year before that. He's still at 9. League average is around 6.5, 7. But all in all, it's been really fun to watch Edward Cabrera. He's going to go opposite Christopher Sanchez. Jack, when you're looking at his numbers, when you're looking at how he pitches, what stands out?
It's one of the best changeups in baseball. You look at how often he goes to the changeup, how much he throws it. He's thrown it, I think, 444 times. I only remember that because it's a round number. It's so big. But 444 times. That whiff rate on the changeup among guys that have thrown a changeup 300 or more times, second to only Tarek Skubal in Detroit. So you could make the argument there. It is the second best changeup in Major League Baseball, only behind arguably the best pitcher on the planet. He sets it up with a sinker, and for the most part, he's 2 pitches, right? He's sinker, changeup. And when you think sinker, changeup, they kind of move the same way. They're just 7 miles an hour apart. Sanchez uses that to his advantage. Who else used that to his advantage when he won a Cy Young in 2022? He's on our team. You know what I mean? So, I think you're seeing I don't want to say poor man's version of Sandy Alcantara, but you're seeing how that template works for somebody else.
Back-to-back southpaws the Marlins will face. Kelly, it wasn't a big offensive game, only 2 runs scored, but it felt like Connor Norby needed to see one go over the fence yesterday.
Right.
We've talked about him. What has stood out to you about Norby's offensive approach the last couple of days?
He's drawing walks. When you're drawing walks, you're seeing the ball better. And for an aggressive hitter like a Connor Norby, who he is swinging first pitch that he likes, he's going, he's aggressive. He wants to get out there. The fact that he's starting to work some counts and he's seeing the pitches a little bit better, that is the big thing that stands out for me. I also think, listen, it's a tough go a bit when you're struggling, especially Connor Norby, he's such a competitor.
Yep.
He worked so hard. He started the season on the IL. He had so much success in 2024. So I think it's been a tough go for him. So that home run, I think it meant a lot for him too mentally.
Well, he is back in the lineup tonight. He will play third and bat seventh. Marlins looking to split this series. The last time that they see the Phillies until the month of September.
Wow.
It is crazy how this schedule works, but here we are. Good job, Kelly. Good job, Jack. Do your peace signs right now. We will break. We'll do Expo questions, Steve's guarantee, and then we'll play baseball at 6:40 on the Marlins Radio Network.
Do again, the runners go, and that one is a line shot past the dive of Abrams into left center field, a base hit. You got Stowers scoring from second. Hernandez breaks it down at third base, and it's an RBI single for Nick Fortes. Insurance for the Marlins. Their lead up to 5. It's 7-2 here in the top of the fifth. 2-2. James Wood laces one out to left field and deep. Hernandez is back. Hernandez reaching up. Heriberto Hernandez makes the catch. On the run, Hernandez jumps up and spears that ball right in front of the Marlins bullpen in left center field. Great play by Hernandez, and there's one away in the bottom of the fifth. See.
The 1-1. Liner in the air to center field. It'll get down for a hit. Sanchez scores from third base, and Liam Hicks continues his hot hitting. He walked in the first. He's got an RBI single here in the third to tie the score at 1.
Obviously through. Brad Lord may have a tougher job.
1-0 line drive pretty deep to right field. Call going back, looking up, and that ball is gone. Jesus Sanchez crushes a long home run just to the left of the Nationals bullpen. It's his 6th homer of the year, and Miami moves to 3-1 in the 7th over the Nationals.
With their traditional home whites, they go with this light blue City Connect top. A 1 pitch. That one popped up right side of the infield, drifting into shallow right. Second baseman Garcia is calling for it, and Luis Garcia dropped the ball. Stowers comes in to score. Myers went to third base. Garcia nonchalantly was positioned to catch the final out of the inning, but he flat out dropped the baseball, and the Marlins add a run to their advantage. It's 4-1 here in the top of the 8th inning.
Marlins games, announcers, and more Marlins games. Did I get you in the upper Marlins? Stream now.
All right, here we go. Full sprint. About 11 minutes away from first pitch right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Fox Sports 940 Miami. Ahmed and King holding it back in the studio for us. Steven Strom, host of the program here. Kelly Sacco and Jack McMullen have your call at 6:40. It'll be two guys from the Dominican Republic squaring off tonight. Christopher Sanchez, the southpaw, the third time in a row the Marlins will see a southpaw. They saw Luzardo on Tuesday, Ranger Suarez on Wednesday, and now Sanchez here tonight. He will go opposite Edward Cabrera again. Back-to-back starts with throwing just 60-ish pitches. He is back on the hill tonight. No injuries to talk about after he left D.C. on Friday night with an ankle contusion. Let's get to our Expo question today at Marlins Radio, and this is a layup, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. What reliever in the Marlins bullpen, Jack, don't answer, threw a complete game with the Philadelphia Phillies last year? Layup. It's a layup. Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. It is time for Steve's Guarantees.
Batter up. Batter up. Let's play some ball. First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
Let's make this very simple here. I'm not picking anyone out of this lineup. The Marlins need to score in this first inning. They have to get off to a good start. The chance at Christopher Sanchez is the first inning. He's got over a 3 ERA. Everything else looks pretty solid. 1.38 in the fourth, 1.38 in the third. Once he gets to the sixth, he's at a 6.52. But again, some of these guys don't go deep in the game, so the numbers are a little bit skewed. Marlins scoring the first run. Marlins scoring the first frame, rather, against Christopher Sanchez. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Kelly Sacco, she's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball. It's next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Millions of Americans take